This thread is titled Cutting Nails? Question mark. So, I live with my boyfriend and we have a baby together. I'm 20 and he's 21. And he has his mom cut his toenails and fingernails. He has told me to cut them, but I refuse because he's not a child. Isn't that weird? Recently, she just came into our room to cut his nails and leave. So weird. I've even told him, why doesn't he cut his own nails? And he tells me that he asks his mom for that. It literally bothers me. It makes me cringe. I always tell him to cut his own, but he doesn't. WTF. A while back, I also recall when his own mom was telling me to cut his nails, saying that I should be doing whatever she was doing back when I wasn't here. I don't, though. Okay. This is probably one of the grossest threads that I've come across. At the very least, it's a little bit bizarre, and I don't think anyone will be surprised to know that the vast majority of people on the internet react the same way. As you can see, the top comment is, "That's repulsive. I'm sorry, you do not have to cut his nails." But I think it's actually indicative of a couple of bigger problems. On the one hand, it's the kind of relationship that he has with his mom, and part of motherhood is kind of growing with your kids as they get older, and the demands on you as a mother should be changing throughout the course of their life, because being a mother to an infant is very different from being a mother to a teenager and from being a mother to an adult. The aspect of this that's kind of so insidious and really, really harmful is that he, as a man, as a 21-year-old man, which is still relatively young, but he has his own baby at this point, has never learned to actually look after himself by himself in the way that he should, in the way that adult men should be able to do. And so there's a real kind of toxic aspect to this parental relationship here that I think the mother is holding him back from being able to become an independent adult man. And so I can't imagine any self-respecting man who would rely on his mom to cut his nails. I think that's a little bit gross, but it says something quite bad about the actual relationship that they have with each other. That's one aspect to it. The other aspect is this really strange desire for, or the belief that the mother seems to have, where she thinks that the wife should come into this kind of maternal role in her son's life. And that's also a bit messed up. Essentially, I would argue that the relationship between a mother and son should be very, very different from the relationship between the son and his wife. And when these lines get a little bit crossed and the wife starts doing things that the mother would be doing for the son, then that's not a healthy relationship for any of them. So that's also quite messed up. The other thing, and it's almost a shame, in my opinion, because a lot of kids actually can do a lot of things by themselves from a really young age. And growing up, learning to be independent, learning to rely on yourself, learning to take responsibility are all things that are motivating and enjoyable and fun and teach your kids to become contributing members to society. If you follow any methods, or if you've heard of any methods like the Montessori method, you'd be surprised to know just how much a 2-year-old is actually capable of doing for themselves without help from their parents if they're shown how to do it, and just how much happier those kids can be because they are not so reliant. You can imagine how frustrating it is when you want to have something done, but you're so reliant on your parents and on the people around you to do those things for you that you always have to wait. So on very many levels, this is one of those threads that's kind of sad to see, and I'm a little bit shocked by it. I don't know what I would do if I was the OP here. I think if this is someone that I'm seeing, I would question, I guess, if this type of behavior comes out in many of the other things that he does on a day-to-day basis, like how reliable is he as a man? Does he do his own laundry? Can he cook? These basic life skills, like, are those things that he has learned by himself at any point? And to what extent does he perceive it as a problem that his mother does these things? It's implied here from the thread that they live together, so he's probably hasn't moved out. But if you're thinking about continuing your relationship with this man, and hopefully you will because you have a baby together, that will have to change at some point, and he'll need to kind of grow up. So I hope he manages, and I hope the OP does not come across this kind of thing, does not have the struggle too often beyond that.